What's that sound? It's for amusement only, the EM and Bingo Pinball Podcast.
Welcome back to For Amusement Only. This is Nick Baldridge. So, you've just come back from picking up your holy grail of EM projects. It's stinky, it's smelly, it's covered in grime. How do you clean it up? Today's episode is going to be about cabinet cleaning, and this will close out my cabinet series for now. I'll revisit if I get directed questions or the like. But I tend to pick up games which are in horrible, horrible shape most of the time. So they've been sitting in bars for years and years, and they're covered with more tar than the road. And some of them that I've had smell like they are filled with rotting meat. But there's ways to mitigate all of that. So let's start with the smell first. That one usually takes some time, and it will require patience. But the first thing you should do is clean out the inside. Make sure that there are no animal carcasses or things of that nature. Follow some of my suggestions, if you like, from previous episode, and that'll mitigate a portion of the smell. Now, what remains can be dealt with just a little box of baking soda. You may have to switch it out 3 or 4 times over a few weeks, but it will eventually take the smell away. At least I haven't come across something that has remained after that. Because if you think about it, you're cleaning out the cabinet, you're sanding water damage if there is any. As part of that, if there's any mold, you would be cleaning that off as well. I know I didn't touch on that, but basically, I just scrub it. Wear a respirator and scrub. So, what's left is just a smell, and it'll go away. It'll be absorbed by the baking soda. So, that's taken care of. Your cabinet's no longer stinky, or it's still stinky, and you're just waiting. Now, to take care of the tar. That's a little tougher, and requires usually some kind of chemical adjustment. And what I like to try first is just simple soap and water. Remember, as I mentioned, the cabinets were lacquered with a very thin coat, but they were lacquered from the factory, and that acts like a clear coat. So the tar basically just rests on top of the cabinet, and it doesn't permeate the graphics most of the time. So with some elbow grease and a little soapy water, you usually come out ahead. Not all the time, but some of the time. If that doesn't work, there's a variety of cleaners. The best advice I can give is to test a spot, maybe under the leg or under some other hardware, like door hardware, where you won't see it if it has a negative reaction to the paint that's there. I've used some of those natural cleaners with some success. You do have to be careful, and you don't want to leave it sitting with the cleaner on it for a long period of time. However, as I say, I've had some success, and it's worth a shot. You want to change your sponge often, because if it is tar that's on the cabinet, or nicotine or whatever you want to call it, from years of being in a smoking environment, it's going to permeate that sponge pretty quickly. So, go to the dollar store or somewhere and just get a giant raft of sponges and go to town. Once your cabinet's all clean, it's been sanded to take out water stains and the like, then you're left with something that should look quite a bit more appealing than when you brought it in the house. So, that's all for tonight. Thank you again for joining me. My name again is Nick Baldridge. You can reach me at foramusementonlypodcast@gmail.com, and you can find us online at foramusementonly.libsyn.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast via RSS, on Facebook, or on our website. But before I go, I wanted to mention that last night's episode got truncated, and I didn't know it until I went to listen to it the next day. I've uploaded a corrected version, and it should be in your feeds now, but you will have to re-download it if you downloaded it previously. I started to talk about overspray, and then I basically signed off, so you didn't miss a whole lot, but just a couple words, if you're curious, those are there. So thank you again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.